I've already done this question, and so let's do it together. So, an 8-year-old boy is treated with IV clindamycin for 7 days as a result of a perforated appendix. Although he does well initially, at the end of his antibiotic course, he develops abdominal cramping and temperature of 39.4. 103 degrees Fahrenheit. He also experiences several episodes of watery diarrhea, which the following antibiotics should be used to treat this condition. So, as I was reading this question, I was like, okay, he's on antibiotic and then he's got watery diarrhea. Okay, so that sounds like a Clostridium difficile pseudomembranous colitis problem. So then I was like, okay, my first instinct was metronidazole as a treatment, but then I was like, wait, maybe you just give um, oral clindamycin. I don't know what I did. I obviously found some sort of a justification which was stupid and came up with the answer that it should be clindamycin, which was wrong. So the one thing I like about USMLE-RX, this is my first time using it. I've always used UWorld, and I just thought I'd change it up a bit. And the one thing I like about USMLE-RX is that it tells me you correctly chose D. So I did choose D, metronidazole, and then I incorrectly chose C. So then it gives me the explanation of the correct answer, and then it tells me the explanation of the incorrect answer, and then it tells you the explanations of the rest of the options. And then it tells you bottom line, so like an educational objective that's similar to UWorld. And then it shows you the first aid. And if you have the 2016, 2015, then you can change it up and see how it looks like in those versions of first aid. So the standard for studying for step one is always, first aid and a question bank. And UWorld is the most, talked about and most advised, which I still agree. However, I would suggest that if I could restart my study process all over again, I would start with USMLE-RX because this option. I don't need to carry the first aid with me. I don't need to have the first aid with me. I don't need to open up the digital version, flip between questions and the PDF and etc. I have the book right here and I can look up exactly what's relevant to the question, which makes life so much easier. So you can see this section shows Clostridia species and the different types and their description. And then if you scroll further, you can also see the bottom half of the page that's there, which is the spore-forming bacteria, and then it tells you Clostridium difficile causes membranous colitis, and then it tells you the page number, where it is in the first aid, so you can go directly. It just makes life so much easier. And on top of that, if you are like me, I like to know more about things so that I have a full understanding of pseudomembranous colitis, Clostridium difficile. Because I'm a visual learner, I like to click on Wikipedia and go and, almost do a thesis, but not quite. So what I do is I search it up on Google, but here it gives you the option to basically click. So let's click Clostridium difficile colitis, and then it opens up and it shows you the related concepts in first aid. Then it shows you related concepts that are related to pseudomembranous colitis. So ampicillin is the antibiotic that's used to treat a number of bacterial infections. Metronidazole is the treatment for pseudomembranous colitis. And then it shows you other related things. And then it also gives you access to PubMed. So obviously you would need to have access to read these articles, but some of them are mostly free. And then you get Wikipedia. So usually I would go separately on another tab to Wikipedia, but in here I don't need to do that. So this, I feel, makes it a great learning tool for everyone to use. So this is USMLE-RX question bank.